GSL Season 2 Round 4 Classic versus Maru.
Okay, we have Maru in the south, and over here in the upper west, northern west, we have Classic.
Up in Oregon.
The left or north.
So this map, I think, is going to play a little bit similarly to last map. But if you look at this, I really like what you were saying about the medevacs, because look at the mini-map. The bottom left, the top right, the bottom right. These locations are dead airspace where without like flying in, you're not going to be able to chase the medevacs and kill them. Whereas as a Protoss player in the last map, you could actually find medevacs and actually snipe them a lot of the time. And even we saw those spotter pylons like in the little hallways on the right and left side of the map. It's hard to actually fly your medevacs in a place where a pylon or an observer isn't going to spot you. So definitely a better map for drops, in my opinion, as well. You can just escape so much easier. You can hide them so much easier.
Yeah, and it's also just less travel time.
Yeah, smaller map in general.
So we do have.
Wow, he's going CC first again.
Cool. Not, necessarily the safest. I mean, there are Protoss cheeses you can do on this map.
Yeah.
But in this case, Terran is going to go for that quick command center. Now let's see how this works out, because to be ahead 2-0 instead of 1-0, that's a pretty big difference, man.
Yeah, it's twice as big of a difference,
Yes, thank you. But also, I mean, psychologically, how many more risks can you take if you're the guy who has not won a game yet? I mean, what's the best way to play? There's so much more room for error when you're ahead that much. We'll have to see how exactly Maru does play if he does lose this game. If not, it's going to essentially turn into a best-of-5 from here.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I like how you said that, Tasteless.
Thanks, Wolf.
On this map, the late game plays out similarly to Frost because of the paths that you can take. If you look at the minimap very closely, I know I keep pointing out the minimap, but there's like this triangle you can see, this little light patch that goes around a triangle. Those are the main attack pathways, and there's basically a way to cut it into 3 smaller triangles, like a Triforce from Legend of Zelda. There's like basically all those pathways are the different pathways you can attack. So if you have observers, you can control, at least knowing exactly which pathway Maru is going to take, and you can also go down the alternate paths to Zealot harass and things like that. Maru is playing literally the identical build. It's going to go right into a 3rd barracks here. Didn't work out for him very well in the early game last game. Let's see how much damage he can get done this time. Classic's playing a much safer build too, keep in mind.
Also, for Classic, he's going to have to be even more attentive with his army on this map, because this is one of these maps where it's really easy, if you're not completely on top of everything, that your Colossi marches in a different direction from your army.
Yeah.
If you go on an attack move, it's possible for them to run up the sides of a cliff when you did not want that to happen. Frost's a little bit more forgiving in regards to that. A lot more chasms, a lot less cliffs.
Yeah.
So here comes the Nexus about to finish. Same for the Terran. The double barracks are finishing up. There's not a lot we can tell you guys.
Well, Stargate's coming up here, so I really like this choice. This is what I was hoping Classic was going to do as a response to basically Maru's insane late game that he let him get to. I mean, I keep saying this, even though Classic won, like I could see it on his face. He was like, whoa, like, that was not easy. I was ahead and I still couldn't beat him, for so long.
That was a race that even to the very end, he might not have been sure he was about to win.
Yeah.
Because, there was so much action going on here. When you have as many battles as that, it gets pretty tough to call who's ahead in moments like that, but he did the right job. He moved out, poking forward. He saw, okay, Maru has enough out on the map, and all I really need to do is warp in Zealots.
Right.
I got a pretty balanced army. Let me try to push in here, see if I can attack the space. If I can, I'm going to be in great shape.
Well, I think the Oracle build is a great choice. Poor scan here, actually, doesn't see it. Sees the robotics timing, which might lead him to believe, okay, there's something else going on, but he might also think that's double forge first or something. It's really hard for him to know. He already has units in the main base here set up to defend, so it's not like he's not prepared for Oracles, but it would have been more comfortable if he knew with certainty that that was what was coming.
Well, obviously, if you scan that, you're like, oh, okay.
Just pop 100%, up a turret right away.
I should know exactly the time this is going to pop out here. And it looks like Maru does suspect that it is going to be a Stargate play here. The Oracle's now going to back up.
Yeah, and he's already trying to intercept it here with these Marines, also in the bunker to get some extra range. And the Oracle so far not doing any damage. Can continue to scout with that. But Maru economically in a pretty good spot, only down 3 workers with double mules. His income, as you guys can see, the top right is better in minerals most of the time consistently here. Does pick up 1 worker with that Oracle. And he's going to need the mothership cannon at home to actually stop this attack that's coming.
Yeah, and really Maru's just coming out here to milk the energy from the mothership core, trigger the Nexus cannon, and then go back home.
Looks like he's actually even going to bring the Oracle to fight. Try to slow this down, maybe. If you fight Marines at the back while they're fighting something else, you know, you can actually chase.
Oh my God! Oh my! Okay, he did get the Oracle.
That was weird. I guess what his idea was there was, okay, maybe I can make him fire at the Oracle. The mothership will get a few more shots off, but that didn't quite work out.
That was definitely a mistake.
Quite hit the mark.
That was a mistake.
Well, I guess that Oracle investment was not really worth it. He killed 2 SCVs and like almost a Marine or something. But
well, we got 2 base powering here from Classic, which I think is completely fine in this case. We have 2 base powering here from Maru. We should have a fairly late third for both of these guys. This is direct Colossus tech. This is not like the other game where we had Blink coming up here. So, you know, harass could be a little bit stronger, but also keep in mind if the Protoss is harassed, you know, it's a little bit easier to hold 2 bases over 3. Also, he's getting Phoenixes.
Yeah, I mean, he's making that Stargate a little bit more worth it, I guess. For this, he's like,
well, you know, he might hope that Maru does do some kind of drop. I mean, Maru's clearly going for 2 base powering. So is Classic. Let's say that he does do a pickup and tries to fly in here. Maybe he can gun all those down with the Phoenixes. The Phoenixes pick up the remaining units.
That's why I like this 3rd base location, because
maybe I'm completely wrong here. Did he? Okay, no, he's going to make a second one. I'm like, I can't believe he's going to make only 1 Phoenix.
Well,
that's so weird.
Here's the key to this, I feel, is this 3rd base location. He's making it in such a place that is very tempting for Maru to harass on the ground, then pick up and run to the natural. But while he's in that airspace, he can actually try to snipe the medevacs with Phoenixes, where the units can't drop out and kill the Phoenixes. They're kind of in that dead air area.
I'm not totally sure. Wait, did he scout that?
I don't think he saw it. He's now going to check. He checks this location, and you guys can see on the minimap he just found the other one. So he sees it now, and I think he has to attack here.
I think he's not entirely confident he can get in there. And,
well,
you know,
now there's
look
Colossus.
Yeah, and even just the 2 sentries, there's enough force fields between those 2 to you know, nab a few of those units.
Well, I mean, it's really scary for Maru. He doesn't know the Phoenixes are there, you know, because if he tries to just do a big drop or something, now he knows. Pick off some of those hit points, just trade shields, they'll regen. Sees the Colossus again in the eye. I guess he's like, you know, I just don't really have the confidence to engage this 3rd base. He has 2 Colossi now. He's going to do a big drop. That's too many medevacs for Phoenixes to pick them off before they unload.
Yeah, I believe we had 4 Phoenixes out now.
Yeah, I think maybe that's the 4th.
Okay, there we go. Now, this is what we were mentioning earlier. Okay, unfortunately, he does not even get that medevac.
Yeah, for him, he's just like, if I commit to go into the main base, you know, I might lose too much. What if he's already in the main base to defend? But every hit point counts.
Oh, great
nice force fields here.
Oh, you know what? Actually, that might be too much of an arc, though, here from Maru. The force field started out looking good, but then all the Terran units slipped right by them. So actually, not good force fields.
Not good enough.
The Immortal could be taken out. Okay, he saves it.
Still on 3 bases. He needs to actually get over there and either do more damage at the natural or hit the 3rd base, because trading army like this Classic is, as long as he doesn't lose his Colossi, he's pretty okay with it.
Well, you know, it depends, though. If he gets more units over here, he's got a decent number of Vikings. He might try to push back the Colossi there.
This is a great micro battle here we're watching.
Yeah, and it looks like he is going to go just for this base, and this is going to be tough. Keep in mind, there's a Widow Mine down there. I don't know.
Yeah, I think he can get this base most likely. Let's see, though. A lot of Colossi coming down. Time Warp here is good. He's actually going to fight with the probes. And Maru will get the Nexus and escape with most of his units. And you know, that was very well played by Maru.
Yeah, that was exactly what he needed to do. Again, Maru always winning with his engagements here. Okay, oh my God, he does not get the mothership core there. But does manage to take out this Phoenix here. And it looks like there's only 2 more remaining.
Well, with the Vikings reinforcing here, he can eventually take out the last Phoenix.
You know, Maru's making the usage of these Phoenixes silly, and here's where it starts to get out of control.
Too many Marauders on the ground.
Well, also, I mean, losing the Immortals and the Colossi, I mean, he's only got Run Robo-Brave right now. These units have to increment out, and he just hit the reset button on that. So now Maru, who's just making... Oh, I think he might have... That might have been the moment where he's like, yep, I'm in a lot of trouble.
Good camera shot there.
Yeah, good catch there by our production staff. So, like, yeah, I mean,
Vikings are killing Phoenixes. Like, this shouldn't happen, you know?
Well, I mean, here's the problem is that Protoss has now been reset on what he has to make. You can see he's fighting with Tier 1 units. Even a small number of Marauders and a Marine can actually kite and out-micro this, and he's just going to keep reinforcing that. Classic is back to square one here. Watch his Vikings kiting Zealots.
He actually kites Vikings
and
Zealots
he saved them.
and saves the Vikings. And then is probably going to kill that. Kills the Phoenix, and this is pretty much, I mean,
that's it, basically. I mean,
he's got too much momentum here. He's not going to be stopped. He's killing too many workers, too many Zealots. Now that the Colossus is here, he might have to back up and regroup for a second, but
well,
look at the Vikings just ignore the Stalker.
I think this should be the beginning of the end here. I mean, he's not going to be able to hold this base.
He just doesn't have an economy to stop this army that's coming across. It was razor thin there, but
there it is. GG. Nicely done by Maru, asserting himself as the best Terran in the world. Nicely done. I do wonder if there's going to be some regrets there from Classic going for those Phoenixes. I don't know if that was the best idea. Expanding to that location, that was pretty vulnerable while getting those Phoenixes out. Definitely, if you're going to do this Classic, absolutely no room for error. The moment that we saw it snowball, the Colossi and the Immortal gunned down. That's basically it. I mean, you're not invested in Templar tech there. You're not getting stormed.
Yeah.
You are gonna have to start over from square one with your Robotech, trying to get either an Immortal or Colossi out against a powering two-base Terran. With Marine Marauder, that's just too much to deal with.
I like the idea of the third base location with the Phoenix synergy there, but Maru's micro was just too good. The force fields, like you said, they looked like initially they were really good, but they didn't quite trap those units well enough.
Yeah, I'm wondering if we're going to see him do that again. Any Phoenix tech here. I think that there's just no room for error with Maru, and that was a little bit too much of a risky build. It's 1-1. We're going to go to a short break. When we come back, we're going to go to game number 3 here with Classic against Maru.